Ms. Khan, are there any agreements?
Yes, Your Honor, and the parties have agreed to do a temporary order. Dad recently lost his job. Child support would be based on minimum wage, $222 a month starting November 1st, $50 a month in medical support starting November 1st, with government medical. And uh, the issues are really going to be conservatorship and then possession and access. And at this time, I would call Mr. Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, can you state your name?
Yes, Juan Jose Hernandez.
So you heard the agreement I said about the child support and medical support?
Right out of the gate, this case wastes no time getting intense. We've got a father who's unemployed, a temporary child support order based on minimum wage, and a battle brewing over conservatorship and visitation. But here's where things get complicated. Drug testing, a DWI history, and a child with special needs all collide in one courtroom. The question is no longer just about access. It's about trust, safety, and what best interest really means.
Is that your agreement?
Correct.
I believe mom has also asked for non-disclosure for her address and phone number and employer to not be disclosed in the order. Are you okay with that?
That's fine.
And one other thing that's going to be brought up is that mom's attorney was asking for you to take a drug test. Are you willing to take a drug test?
I will be willing to take a drug test only if I could keep my son throughout the weekend from Friday to Sunday.
Okay.
Because I know
So I believe the type of drug test that's going to be asked is a zero tolerance hair drug test at national screening. And so you would pay for that and provide the results to the court and to her attorney. And you're okay with that,
absolutely.
correct?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
And your issue is you don't want just daytime visits. You want basically standard visitation from 6 p.m. on Friday to 6 p.m. on Sunday on
Correct.
the first, third, and fifth weekends.
So actually every weekend, not just the first and the third, like every weekend. I haven't seen my son for like the past 3 months. So
So you don't want just the standard possession order. You want every single weekend?
correct.
And when is the last time you saw your son?
More than 3 months ago.
I think what month of the year was it?
So I moved to the new address that I have right now on June 3rd, and I saw my son probably 2 weeks before that. So, yep, more than 3 months ago.
So May of 2025?
Yep.
And when you kept him in May, how long did you keep him?
A few hours, because her mom was going to work, and obviously, I guess she didn't have nobody to take care of him. And basically last minute, she called me and said like, "Hey, can you take care of Donatiu or Fabian?" I said, "Absolutely, of course." And then she brought it in, and we were just like having a good time. And yeah,
Okay. So have you seen Fabian since then?
only a couple of times through FaceTime.
Have you attempted to see him?
Nope. Well, I have attempted. Yes, I have texted her. I called her like, "Hey, like, can I see my son?" Like, usually I'm being off on the last couple of times when I was working, I was off on Sundays, and I text her like, "Hey, I'm off tomorrow. Like, do you think that you can bring him to you and I can see him and all that?" No answer, no response, nothing. So yeah, I've
Okay.
tried. I've tried plenty of times to spend time with him, but obviously his mom is not letting me.
Okay. And does your son have autism?
Yes.
Is he verbal? Does he be able to talk to in sentences and have conversations?
Full sentences, no. But there's a big difference, and hopefully there's a way that I can prove that. There's a big difference whenever my son is with me, that he acts and behaves completely different, because he is like a different child. A different child that he does his things. That he if he wants water, he goes to the fridge and grab it himself. If he wants just a cookie, he go and grab it himself. If he's hungry, he comes and tells me like, "Hey, a carnita," like that means beef. Like pollito, that means chicken, and then quesadilla and spinach, because and don't get me wrong, his mom is great. His mom has done such a good job taking care of my son, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it's like a little bit too much. But at the same time, it's just I don't know.
Okay. Objection, non-responsive. So
Sustained.
my question was, is he verbal? Can he talk in sentences?
Sometimes just a full sentences, just a few ones, not all of them.
Okay, but he has enough language he can tell you when he's hungry or when he has to go to the bathroom or when he needs something.
Yes.
And when did you and Miss Enzura separate?
Separated, like completely living apart on February 2024. Separated, living on the same household, 2019, 2020.
Okay, so before 2024, were you living with your son? So you were around him every day?
Yes,
And did y'all share caretaking of the child?
yes.
And since you separated, about how many times have you seen him?
I will say probably rounded it up 30 times.
Okay, and was that times that mom brought your son to you?
Yeah, 30 times. Like the mom brought it to me, but I used to see him whenever he was dropped off from school because he was still registered from school, on the same address, even though he doesn't live at the same address.
Okay. Um, have you had him overnight since y'all separated?
A couple of times, probably like 3 or 4 times. Whenever his mom had to work like a night, I keep him, and we actually everything was right. It was fun.
Okay. Did you get a DWI last year?
Yes, I did.
Is that been completed? Were you found guilty?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Are you still on probation for that?
Nope. The preparation. I went through courts every month, drug test, everything, and everything was fine. Everything I passed because like I learned my lesson.
Did you have to have the interlock device on your
Yes, I
vehicle?
did. Yes.
Do you still have that?
Nope, not anymore. Because like I said, I passed.
Unknown caller.
So you're willing to do the drug test, but you're not willing to do any kind of step-up visits where you get like daytime visits starting out. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm willing to do the drug test if I keep my son from Friday night to Sunday.
This moment is crucial. Legally speaking, courts almost always prefer step-up visitation when a parent hasn't had consistent access, especially when there's a recent DWI involved. Mr. Hernandez isn't just asking for visitation. He's asking to skip the gradual process entirely. And that's a big red flag in family court. So, here's the question for you. Should a clean drug test automatically override concerns about long gaps in parenting time, or is stability earned over time?
Okay. So is there any possibility you'd be willing to do some kind of stop-up
Nope.
visits where we start out on Saturdays for a
Nope.
few hours?
Friday to Sunday.
And you have your own place?
Yes.
Where are you living right now?
Right now, 2601 South
Whoa,
Brentwood.
okay.
Oh,
Let's be
sorry.
mindful that we're on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is it an apartment or a house?
It's a townhouse.
I'm sorry, what kind of house?
A townhouse.
A townhouse?
Yes.
And who lives there with you?
I'm sorry.
Who lives there with you?
Nobody. Just myself.
Okay. And do you have a bedroom for Fabian?
Of course.
Is Fabian your only child?
Yes.
So if he came to stay with you, he'd have his own bedroom, you have your own house, you have a place for him to stay?
Of course. Yes.
All right, I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Bunch, do you have questions for Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor. So,
Okay,
Mr. Hernandez,
Yes.
the DWI that you were convicted of, you were just convicted this past September, is that correct?
Correct.
And in addition, you had a bond condition violation report where while the charge was pending, you were found to have violated by having a too high blood alcohol level when you blew into your
No,
interlock.
that's incorrect because I never that was a malfunction on the system. That was a malfunction on the interlock device, and that's why it was changed.
That is not what is noted on the bond condition violation report. You understand that was issued in April. Your Honor, I do have that as an exhibit. I don't believe I have the power to share screen. May I share an offer?
Is there anything personal on there that should not be on YouTube, for one thing?
It does not have his address. It does not have a social security. It is strictly a bond condition violation report.
Okay.
Does have his
host. I think the host has that ability to co-host. Who is that?
Christella?
Yes, I just made you co-host, Ms. Bunch. You should be able to share now.
And then before you say, does anyone have any objection to me admitting into evidence that bond condition report she just described?
It is CPO4.
I do because I need to find my receipt wherever it says that it was a malfunction, and that's
What is your legal objection though to the document getting into evidence, sir?
Nope.
I'm sorry?
No, I don't have any objection.
Okay, so it's admitted as CP1.
And I can clarify for the court, I did not include it as an exhibit. There was a prior bond violation report that was found to be an error of the court. And I believe that is what he is referring to. That's why I did not submit that, because they found that the violation was issued in error. This one, however, did not have such a finding, and it found that you were given bond conditions February 13th of 2024, that you were to use an ignition interlock device, and that in March you blew a high blood alcohol level, retested and consistently blew a high blood alcohol level at several times throughout that day.
This is where credibility takes center stage. The bond condition violation report directly contradicts Mr. Hernandez's explanation, and in court, documents almost always speak louder than memory. Even more damaging, this wasn't a dismissed allegation. The court record reflects repeated high alcohol readings in a single day. For a judge deciding child safety, especially with an autistic child involved, this kind of evidence doesn't just raise concerns, it reshapes the entire case.
And that was submitted April 29th of submitted March 27th of 2025. So you do see what I'm referring to, correct, Mr. Hernandez? This is displayed on the screen.
Yeah, I see what you're referring to.
Okay. In addition, you did previously have another child residing in your house. Is that correct? Since you separated from my client.
Nope.
You disassembled your son's bedroom to make space for that other child. Isn't that correct?
No.
And the visitation that you're asking for, you have not had your son for that duration of period since you separated from my client. You've had him for maybe one overnight, 24 hours, but you've not had him for an entire weekend. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
All right. I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Ms. Khan, do you have any further questions of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you may call your next witness.
I will rest and allow Ms. Bunch to call her client.
Okay. Ms. Bunch, do you have a witness you'd like to call?
Yes, my client, please.
You may do so.
Ms. Ansouris, please state your name for the record.
Cristina Ansouris.
And you are the mother of Fabian, the child of this suit, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Hernandez acknowledged his paternity in acknowledgement of paternity that has been filed by the Office of the Attorney General. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you and Mr. Hernandez separated on or about February 4th of 2024. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Your Honor, I would also like to offer counter petitioners Exhibit 1, which is our relief requested. And that's just a summary of the relief that we're requesting today. Of course, what we've already stipulated to an agreement, but these are the additional items.
It's going to be Exhibit 2 because I believe the other one was CP1. Does anyone have any objection to me admitting CP's Exhibit 2?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez?
I'm sorry, CPS Exhibit 2, what is that?
I can share my screen just to show him if Your Honor would like.
Has he
That's
seen the
possible.
list of requests? It's their list of requests.
Yes,
Okay,
and
asking
this
for
is
the court.
and what was discussed. So Mr. Hernandez, it's a summary of the relief that my client is asking for today. It's a written statement of what she'll be requesting here.
Do you have any legal objections, sir?
No, I would like to see it because I don't know what she's requesting.
Okay, CP Exhibit 2 is admitted.
And Ms. Anzuris, this is the copy of that. So we just confirmed the paternity through the acknowledgement. You are also requesting to be appointed sole managing conservator of the child. When you and Mr. Hernandez separated, why did y'all separate? Ms. Anzuris, can you hear me?
Yes. Why would we separate?
Yes.
Because I start working and I didn't give him money. He asked me for $500 and he told me if I didn't give him the money, had, I just had to be out of the house at that moment.
I think
And
she
that's
broke
why
up during some of that. And I missed
uh,
that.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, but you'd broken up. You're in a vehicle. Are you on Bluetooth or are you not connected? Bluetooth is bad. Thinking about it.
I think it's, yes, I have a Bluetooth.
Okay, if you might want to disconnect from the Bluetooth because it often causes problems.
I don't have a Wi-Fi. I'm outside my job in the car.
Okay, well, right now I'm just letting you all know I did not hear that answer. So if it was important, it did not accomplish
Well,
anything. So Ms. Bunch, if you want to ask it again, otherwise just be aware I did not hear that answer.
Understood. Let me ask the next question. So Ms. Anzuris, in your relationship with Mr. Hernandez, when, if ever, was he physically violent toward you?
no, physically.
Okay. Was there ever a time that he slapped you?
Yes.
When did that occur?
One morning that he came back from the night before that he spent all night outside the home and I was upset and I told him that when he spent the night out and come in the morning, that's the day he did.
Okay. And since you've separated, when, if ever, have you witnessed him drunk around your child?
Twice.
When did that occur?
The day after I picked my son.
Day after what?
He spent the night with my son.
Okay.
And I left my son with him fine. And the next day he was drunk.
And about when did that occur?
That was around June 2024.
Okay. And when you picked your son up, what condition was Mr. Hernandez in?
He didn't know where my son's shoe was. He was completely drunk. I tried to find my son's shoe, and then he started telling me to get out of the house, like screaming. So I just got out of the house without my son's shoe.
Have you witnessed him even before you separated? Have you witnessed Mr. Hernandez drunk like that before?
Many times, yes.
When he is in that condition, do you believe that he is capable of caring for your son?
No,
Why?
because he's not even able to care for himself.
And you heard him, Mr. Hernandez, testify that your son is autistic. Do you agree with that? Your son has been diagnosed autistic?
Yes.
Is your son able to speak in complete sentences at this time?
No,
How does he communicate?
by words.
And is he in any special education or programs or a special school to assist him?
Yes, special education and therapies.
Okay. What concerns, if any, do you have about your son's ability to express if something were to happen while he was with Mr. Hernandez? Do you think he could tell you if something happened to
No.
be dangerous? Okay. Do you think he would be able to call and ask someone for help if he were with Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Hernandez became drunk?
No.
Okay. And how old is your son right now?
10 years old.
10 years old. Okay. Now, have you ever known another child to have resided with Mr. Hernandez since y'all separated?
Yes.
And how did you know about that?
I see them around the house.
And that was when you would go to Mr. Hernandez's house for visits with Fabian?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you see about the other child or the rooms for the children?
One time I took the dog to the house and he didn't open the door. So I used the key that I had to put the dog inside the house. And I walked inside the house and I just noticed that my son, he didn't have his room like he used to. And I saw a mess in the house.
And about when was this?
March, after I moved, like a month after I moved.
Okay. Your Honor, I would like to offer petitioner's exhibit. I believe this one will be number 3, and this would be photos of the home as taken by my client.
Does anyone have any legal objection to CP3?
Yes, because I haven't seen the pictures.
Can you get them to Mr. Hernandez?
I can share my screen to show him briefly if that's okay.
The problem is I'm here.
I may have his email that I can send it to. I think I got it off the order that we drafted this morning. 1 moment. So Ms. Enzeres, I'm going to ask you a few other questions while I try to get this passed through. So at this time, what kind of visitation do you believe is in the best interest of your son with his father?
When someone there, someone to supervise him.
Okay. And Mr. Hernandez, I did email that exhibit over to you. Was the email provided by the Attorney General? It just said it failed, and I'm not going to be able to confirm that email as we're streaming live. Your Honor, one other request, could we maybe do where you briefly cover your screen just while I share the exhibit to show it to him?
I
And
can email it. I have
Okay.
like one typo in that email.
Okay,
And
thank you.
I know what it is. So I will just forward the one you sent, the Dropbox. Is that okay?
That is perfect. Thank you. Okay. So, Ms. Anzuras, you want someone there to watch? Is that what you said for visits?
Yes.
In addition, were you aware until I came on the case that he had this DWI charge in Harris County that he was convicted of?
Yes.
Well, what I'm asking is, did you find out about that from me or did he tell you about it?
Friend,
We didn't hear your answer. It broke up. So did you find out about that charge from him or did you find out about it from me?
friend you.
Okay. And you retained me as your attorney last week. So before then, you were not aware of that charge. Is that correct?
Correct.
And given what you witnessed of his behavior around the child and when y'all were together, that charge brings additional concerns for you. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes.
Well, we just lost Mr. Hernandez.
I just took the dog like a little bit to the side.
Okay. Remember what I said in the beginning. It's real
Yes,
important
I'm
to
sorry.
stay on
No,
camera.
I'm sorry.
So Ms. Enzones, If Mr. Hernandez were to take a zero tolerance hair follicle drug test, would you be willing to consider unsupervised visitation if he passes that drug test and it's completely clean?
Yes.
Okay. But you feel that it would not be in your child's best interest to have unsupervised visitation until he has passed that test. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, I do want to clarify, we've talked about the alcohol use. When, if ever, have you known Mr. Hernandez to use drugs?
And we moved together.
Okay. What kinds of drugs did you know him to use?
Cocaine.
And about how often would he use it?
Cocaine
About how often?
and alcohol. Twice a week, sometimes more.
That didn't quite come through. Can you repeat your answer about how often he would use it?
Hear me? Twice a week, sometimes more.
And this was from when you lived together from back in 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've seen him drunk. Do you know or have you recognized any behavior of his that he has been on drugs since you separated?
Yes.
When was that?
Like that day that I go CPS,
And when was that?
was like June 26th. He was like shaking.
And when you called CPS, they ultimately referred it to their alternative response team and did not make a finding either way. Is that correct? They did not make a
Correct.
finding against him and they did not make a finding in favor or against him.
Yeah, they just didn't do anything.
Based on your history with Mr. Hernandez, do you have concerns that he may still be using drugs as well as abusing alcohol?
Yes.
And is that why you're asking for these tests to determine his current status before your son would be unsupervised?
Yes.
Now, on previous visits, he testified that he had seen Fabian about 30 times since y'all separated. Do you agree with that estimate of how many visits he's had?
I think he had a little more than that.
Okay.
And
on those visits, what is the longest period of time that Fabian stayed with Mr. Hernandez?
one day, one night.
Okay. Was there ever a time that he had him for 2 nights, for a whole weekend?
No.
And is it true that Fabian has seen him by FaceTime a couple times since the last visit in May? Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you agree that May was the last time there was a visit with Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you decide not to agree to another visit since May?
Because I took him to see him at his new place. We have a time. We agree with a time to see him. He called me one day before to see him, and I'm like, okay, I will take him to you because I want to see the place where he's gonna be. I wanna make sure he's in a clean place, and I wanna make sure you're fine too. So I was willing to take him from Brookshire to the Energy Stadium because that's where he lives, around that place. And I called him when we got there 3 times, and he didn't answer my phone call. So I figured he drank last night, like the night before, and I just took my son to a playground because he was a little upset. I told him that he was gonna see his dad, but he was a little upset because when you tell him that we're gonna do something, you have to do it.
Mhm.
So he was upset, and I just tried to go somewhere else to change his mind.
Miss
We went
Enzers?
to,
Miss
yes,
Enzers, let me ask my next question, please. Okay. So at that point, I understand that was a frustrated visit. Mr. Hernandez was not responsive and y'all had agreed to a visit. And you're saying this happened after the last May visit. Is that correct? Do you remember when this was? Was it still May or was it June?
that was June.
Okay. Why at that point did you decide not to have further visits?
Because I knew he was drunk. I knew he was not in a in a his right mind to answer the call.
Okay.
He didn't answer the
When,
call because he was drunk.
okay, so you believe he didn't answer the calls because he was drunk. Is that a way he has behaved in the past when he was drunk or when he was under the influence of something?
Yes,
So on that day, you believe the behavior he exhibited matched when he was under the influence of something.
yes,
Okay. All right. I also want to confirm you're requesting the temporary injunctions as pled for in your original cross petition. Is that correct? And those are the standard ones for him not to harass you, threaten you, harm you, or disturb your peace of the child. Is that correct?
yes,
You're also asking that he not make disparaging remarks about you or your family in front of the child or allow anyone else to do so.
yes,
You're also asking that the two of you use the co-parenting program app close to communicate any questions or issues concerning your son.
yes,
At its core, this case isn't about punishment, it's about protection. The court heard testimony about alcohol abuse, drug use, missed visits, and a child who cannot easily advocate for himself. Temporary orders like these aren't final judgments. They're safeguards, and the takeaway is clear. Consistency, sobriety, and accountability matter more than promises. If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
And given this history, you are asking to be appointed sole managing conservator of your son.